Throughout human history, prophets and messengers have warned their nations about trials and tribulations. They spoke of a time near the end of the world when chaos would spread, morality would collapse, and deception would dominate. Among these warnings, none is more terrifying and more serious than the appearance of a man known as Al-Masih ad-Dajjal, the false Messiah, the great deceiver. His trial will be the greatest test ever faced by humanity, and for Muslims, understanding who Dajjal is, what he represents, and how to protect oneself from his deception is not just knowledge, it is a matter of survival in faith. Islam teaches that the world is temporary. Life on earth is a test, and the final destination of every soul is either paradise or hell. But before the day of judgment, Qiyamah, arrives, Allah has decreed a series of events, both minor and major signs, that will unfold. These events are warnings for those who reflect and tests for those who are heedless. Among these events, the appearance of Dajjal is considered the greatest trial that mankind will ever face. Prophet Muhammad said, "There will be no trial greater from the time Allah created Adam until the hour begins than the trial of the Dajjal." Why is Dajjal such a severe test? Because he will come at a time of desperation. People will be suffering from famine, drought, injustice, and despair. Humanity will be yearning for a savior, and Dajjal will present himself as one. He will come with false miracles, false promises, and ultimately claim divinity. Those whose faith is weak will be deceived. Those who chase the dunya will run after him. Only the firm believers, guided by Allah, will survive his trial. This is why learning about Dajjal is not a matter of curiosity, it is a matter of iman. It is a prophetic command. The Prophet would frequently warn his companions about Dajjal, so much that they thought Dajjal might even appear in their own lifetime. The coming of Dajjal reminds us of two things. 1. The dunya is full of deception, and ultimate truth belongs only to Allah. 1. The believer must always prepare spiritually because the end times can come at any moment. So who exactly is Dajjal? What does Islam say about his nature and identity? He is called Masih because, like Prophet Isa, he will claim to be a messianic figure. But unlike the true Messiah, Dajjal will be a liar, spreading falsehood and leading people away from Allah. The Prophet described Dajjal in many hadith so that believers can recognize him clearly. Among the descriptions are, one-eyed. His right eye will be blind, deformed, and bulging like a floating grape. His left eye will be sharp, but strange in appearance. Forehead inscription, the word kafir will be written between his eyes. Every believer, literate or illiterate, will be able to read it. Build and appearance. He will be a large man with a reddish complexion and curly hair. One hadith describes him as, Dajjal is one-eyed and your Lord is not one-eyed. Between his eyes is written kafir. This hadith shows two things. 1. No matter how powerful Dajjal appears, his flaws are obvious. He cannot compare to Allah, who is perfect and beyond human limitations. 1. Believers will have spiritual insight to recognize him, while those blinded by dunya will fall into his trap. Dajjal will begin by presenting himself as a righteous leader. He will speak of justice, peace, and prosperity. He will then claim to be a prophet, and finally, he will claim to be God. This progression reflects the nature of deception. It starts with half-truths, moves into bigger lies, and ends in total falsehood. But how will people believe such an outrageous claim? Because Dajjal will come with extraordinary powers that will appear divine to those without knowledge. He will make the sky rain, the earth grow crops, and even make the dead appear alive. These are not miracles but deceptions, tests from Allah to separate true believers from false ones. Dajjal's deception will center on imitating the true Messiah, Prophet Isa. He will perform wonders, heal the sick, and appear to revive the dead. But unlike Isa, Dajjal will not call people to Allah. He will call people to worship himself. In this sense, Dajjal represents the ultimate inversion of truth, falsehood masquerading as truth, evil disguised as good. He is the embodiment of worldly deception. The Dajjal is not just a figure of the future. His story is a reminder of the dangers of deception, arrogance, and blind following. In every era, there are smaller Dajjals, people and systems that mislead humanity away from Allah. But the final Dajjal will be the greatest of them all, and only those with strong iman and knowledge will see through his lies. To prepare for him, we must first understand the signs that will lead to his arrival. Every great trial in history does not happen suddenly. Allah, in his wisdom, prepares humanity by sending signs and warnings. Before the coming of Dajjal, Prophet Muhammad described many minor signs of Qiyamah that would spread across the earth. These signs reveal the kind of world that will give rise to Dajjal's fitna. The Prophet said that near the end of time, knowledge will be taken away, not by books disappearing, but by the death of scholars, leaving behind ignorance. Ignorance will prevail, people will speak without knowledge, and foolish leaders will be obeyed. Widespread immorality, adultery, fornication, and shamelessness will become public and normalized. Wine and intoxicants, consumed openly, without shame. Falsehood will dominate, people will prefer lies over truth, bloodshed will increase, wars, killings, and violence will be common. The prophet said, "From the signs of the hour is that knowledge will be taken away, ignorance will prevail, alcohol will be drunk, and there will be much killing." In another hadith, "The hour will not be established until wealth increases to the point where a man will worry not because of poverty, but because no one accepts his charity." The prophet also said that the end times will see the collapse of just leadership and the rise of corrupt rulers. Leaders will betray trust, hoard wealth, and lead people into disobedience. When people lose trust in their leaders and live in oppression, they become desperate for someone to save them. Dajjal will present himself as that savior. According to Hadith, before Dajjal's appearance there will be years of drought and hunger. The earth will withhold its produce, the skies will withhold rain, and people will be starving. This is crucial because Dajjal will use food and sustenance as a weapon. He will say, "Follow me and I will feed you. Reject me and you will starve." Those whose faith is weak will give in to hunger and follow him. When we study these signs, we realize something important. The world of Dajjal is not far from the world we live in today. Many of these minor signs are already visible: immorality, widespread lies, oppression, famine, and corruption. This should remind us that the appearance of Dajjal is not impossible, and that preparation must begin now. So when will Dajjal appear? The exact time is known only to Allah, but the Prophet gave us clear descriptions of where he will come from, how long he will stay, and what he will do. The Prophet said, "Once he appears, Dajjal will travel the entire world rapidly." The Prophet described his movement as, "He will move through the earth like rain driven by wind. He will visit every land and every city except Makkah and Medina because angels guard them." The Prophet said, "There is not a town but Dajjal will pass through it except Makkah and Medina. Every entrance to them will be guarded by angels." This shows the special sanctity of the two holy cities, and also that safety lies only with Allah's protection. The Prophet explained that Dajjal will remain on earth for 40 days. The first day will be like a year, the second day will be like a month, the third day will be like a week. The remaining days will be like normal days. This hadith shows how severe and strange the time of Dajjal will be. Even the normal rhythm of life will be disturbed. When he travels the world, Dajjal will use extraordinary powers to deceive people. He will command the sky to rain, and it will rain. He will command the earth to grow crops, and it will produce. He will travel with what appears like heaven and hellfire, but in reality his heaven is hell, and his hell is heaven. He will make the appearance of reviving the dead, though in truth it is only deception. The emergence of Dajjal will shake humanity to its core. He will come at a time of hunger, despair, and chaos. He will present himself as a savior, a miracle worker, and eventually as God. Millions will follow him, deceived by his powers and promises. But the believers, guided by the signs taught by Prophet Muhammad, will recognize him for who he truly is, the greatest liar in history. The impact of Dajjal will be unlike anything the world has seen. He will divide humanity, shake faith to its core, and spread chaos across the earth. His powers will dazzle the eyes but poison the hearts. Yet even in this darkest hour, Allah will preserve his true servants, the believers who cling to faith, who resist temptation, and who await the victory of Allah.